I still get comments like, "You speak English very well." The director tells me, "You need to be blacker."
We're all not like that. We don't have to have that accent. We don't have to, because I'm third generation. My Spanish is really bad.
With women from the Middle East, it's like the most offensive, the most painful stereotypes exist.
Women on the staff reportedly had to sign an agreement that they would not ever sue for sexual harassment.
The writers were talking about their own sex lives. They were talking about the cast.
Renee Zellweger in Cold Mountain played a character that was actually a black slave in the novel, and they wanted to cast Renee, so they turned her into an Appalachian white woman.
Books that have been made into films where the character was gay, and in the film version, they're straight. And you're like, why?
If you had just drawn a character that's Condoleezza Rice without knowing that there is a real Condoleezza Rice with these qualities, you'd go, oh, there'd be people who would be like, that's not realistic, but it is realistic because it's real and true.
Kathleen Antonia was a character in this musical that was playing a Condoleezza Rice type character, and was continually instructed that she needed to be blacker. The director tried to make her more stereotypical, and when she objected to some of that direction, ultimately they fired her.
The character that played Iowa housewife, I never heard any of the actors. I lived in Iowa as a little kid, and I grew up a lot in the Midwest. None of them sounded like they were from Iowa. I never once heard anyone direct them to sound like they were from Iowa. This is Iowa housewife. Iowa is in her character's name, and yet the black character is supposed to sound like she's from a ghetto somewhere and has clawed her way up to Wall Street or whatever it is. And I'm like, this is not Condi Rice.
I've worked with Kathleen before on a couple of occasions. She came in and replaced me when I was pregnant and needed to come off the road, and she came in and replaced me in a show where I was playing Condoleezza Rice and an ambassador, and that was great. And then I got to direct her in a new work where again she was playing Condoleezza Rice, and I thought she did a fine job. And here's an example: Condoleezza Rice, undeniably a black woman, but she's not sassy and neck rolling.
3 days after Rosa Parks dies, the director Catherine Conte tells me I need to be blacker.
Let's say an African American actor has been cast in a role and then is asked by the director, who's probably white, probably a white male, to talk more black, whatever that meant. That's sort of a telling comment, talk more black. Not talk more African American, talk more black, wow. Dumb down, that's what it's saying. Dumb down the role so that you're believable as a person who is at the low end of our societal structure, regardless of your training, your education, your intelligence, the beauty of the culture that you represent. Because for that ignorant director, all he is doing is referencing other images that he has seen on the screen. He's not referencing humans that he's seen in real life.
You're saying that to a black person who's been black all their life, So they actually get to be the expert on what blackness is.
If someone gave me that instruction, I would feel uncomfortable. Like, let me tell you what it is to be black. What I would want to do is use that discomfort of mine to go, wait a minute, I need to take this apart. What does that mean? What is it that's missing here? I want you to be a little louder. I want whatever this stereotype is that she's trying to promote. If I really think about black people I know, I know all kinds, so I don't get the instruction. It's sort of like if I'm told to be whiter, it's like, well, which one, you know? But the media is such a limited collection of images of minority races, you know. By minority, I mean less power-holding races. And so that's what they go to, you know, that palette, which is very small, very small.
With women from the Middle East, it's like the most offensive, the most painful stereotypes exist, I think, that we're, you know, that we're oppressed, that we don't speak up, that we have no rights, that we, now this is women in the Middle East. And then, you know, women from the Middle East come here and they find freedom and opportunities and all that. Now, it's not to say that that doesn't happen, you know, it does happen, but that's not the only scenario. And this whole other conversation about veil and veiling and, you know, Muslim women veiling, and it's just, there's all this sort of, I don't know, exotic notions of all, you know, the hidden and stuff that's not permitted, that is really kind of more a reflection of, you know, the European notions of I don't know, the Middle East, and romanticizing goes back to sort of, you know, 19th century that we haven't really sort of gotten over yet.
I was wearing a necklace and it had a cross on it, and it was this stage reading, and this man said to me, "Oh, you added that cross? Oh, that's real Mexican." I was like, "Wow, yeah, I'm Mexican." But I think that other people wear crosses too in their life.
I still get comments like, "Boy, you speak well," or "You speak English very well." Or actually, they'll say, "You speak English good." And then I have to correct them and go, "No, I speak English well, because I got an A in grammar, gosh darn it. I was raised here. I took honors English." Why wouldn't anybody ask Mike Tyson where he's from? He doesn't speak English well. He doesn't speak English good.
If you have folks who know nothing about the culture of these African Americans or Asian Americans or whatever, but they know some stereotypes of the sort that they have seen in other movies, it's all referential to other movies, not to reality. They say, "Oh, well, we need you to talk in a certain way." "Oh, yeah, I thought it'd be really cool if this guy was like, you know, a drug addict and he liked music. You know, that would be really cool." I mean, that's what blacks are like, right? It's horrifying. I'm sure it's horrifying for the people doing it, as well as the people that have to do those things to make a living, as well as, you know, for the people from those communities who have to see that and say, that's what they think our life is like.
As long as you're trying to just make people, here are the boxes, there's 4 boxes. And if you don't fit in the box, then you don't get to play. You know? And so you want to come do this? Get in the box. That's where that happens, where, you know, in rehearsal, when you get a direction like be more black, they're telling you to get in the box. You know, and it's like, you know what? I'm not getting in the box. It's too small.
I wrote to the union and said I haven't yet been written up for being white or for not being black enough. Like, this hasn't come down in like some performance warning, and there's no written anything about it. I'm just telling you that this happened. The next day, the stage manager's rehearsal report says more ethnicity. So now I'm like, well, now it's been written down, and I'm beyond pissed, because I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm supposed to be more ethnic in a role that's supposed to be Condoleezza Rice to Tina Turner. Because one of Condoleezza Rice's first lines ends with her saying, "Girlfriend." Yeah, Condi Rice. I always hear her say girlfriend. And I can imagine when she's at home and she's just kicking it with GW or something. She's like, "Girlfriend." Yeah, this is who I think Condi Rice is. We all think this.
I know what this dress name is. Sleeping Beauty. And mine is Snow White.